do I feel good today? And I had to wake myself up after that ridiculously boring Thursday night football game that we'll get to in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at yet another Football Friday. That's right. This is your daily sports and sports betting brand of record. We are live every single day except for Saturdays on demand at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Also, do not forget, you can watch us every single weekday at 3 p.m. Eastern time on all of the stadium apps, Amazon Prime, DirecTV, YouTube TV, Roku TV, everywhere you can get us. You can also watch us on demand right here at our YouTube channels. Now, if you are watching on YouTube, make it a part of your day. When you come into the show, hit the like button, then open the chat, and you can just chat away because we got the best chat in the damn game. George, thank you very much. Things are settling down a little bit out here in SoCal. The fires are getting under control. Still kind of a crazy scene, but everything's cool at the Coachman Stead. Now, when you think a game is going to go one way and it goes another way, you're going to have a lot of X's on your board. And last night, nobody even had a chance to get into the club. Although young Peyton from the morning show, 2-0, hit his crew pick. DG, 2-0. So depending on which show you were watching, that's the ones that were profitable. But last night, it's no fault of anybody. The rain, which we didn't think we were going to get, it came. It affected the game. 0 touchdowns last night in the game total. Now, we've got a ton of content here at the brand. Turn on your notifications. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's the easiest way to never miss anything, including fresh content. We do a DTL podcast every single day. It's only 20 to 30 minutes. We respect your time. Video to crew members drops around 3 p.m. Eastern time. Now, I would love to know the initial take coming off of that disaster last night. My partner, my 5-tool player, my man that I can't do without, AB. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Look, hey, I had a fine night. Punt down inside the 5. We got that in the first half, plus 200. Brock Purdy threw a pick. Matthew Stafford should have thrown 900 picks.
I know.
It was crazy. And I'll tell you this, man. Look, people ask why I bet interception props, why I bet punt props. All right. This late in the season, in games that matter, all right. Number one, the quarterback has the ball in his hands on every play. So you've got an opportunity, whether it's a good game, bad game, indifferent. You've got an opportunity. And number two, teams punt. And punters are pretty good in the NFL. So that's why you might want to take a look at hitting those as we go through the rest of the regular season.
You did say on the show live last night, you said there could be a lot of punts here tonight. I think there were 8 in the first half. And Al Michaels was dead asleep. He goes, well, we were expecting you could tell he bet the over last night. Well, we were expecting a lot of points tonight, but it's been a punt fest. Al Michaels is so checked out on even caring at this point. He's kind of like the old Brent Musburger. We always would know what he was betting on based off his commentary. Al Michaels should just hang it up. Do you agree, or
I mean, they keep cutting those checks, right? He's like, look, I'm just going to give you the minimum amount of what you need from me.
Oh, that's exactly right. And Amazon, they're paying both those guys like $6 million. So God bless you, Al Michaels. I hope I'm still working right here on DTLAB at 84 years. Can you imagine doing this?
I know, right? And calling games. Now, real quick, you talked about Brent Musburger. So everybody knows, the "you're looking live," right? Like that became like the phrase. Where that came from was in the 80s, all right? Way before sports betting was anywhere legal across the country. Brent Musburger would have the network cut in 10 minutes early before the game started to see the weather in the game. And you never knew what was going on. It would just cut in. And he would say, "You're looking live." And that was the key for bettors to see, is it raining? Is it snowing? Brent Musburger, dude, he is one of one, an original OG sports bettor, did that. And even the network didn't know. They didn't pick up for a couple of years. They're like, oh, we get it now.
I wish we had a behind-the-scenes camera at ESPN. We'd sit there doing like the cut-ins. Like I did a lot of college stuff there. And we would always try to figure out what his bet was based off of how the game started. If it was a quick touchdown, we expect a lot of points today. You're like, oh, he's on the over. Oh, I think the defenses are going to show up today. Oh, he's on the under. All right. Oh, we could talk about this all day, but we got a crew that is just starving. By the way, in the chat, as we do, we're trying something new. Charles is in the chat. Any questions for him about anything coming up in the weekend, put them in the chat. He will just start popping in real time. You guys love it. He loves it. Let's go. AB, what are the selections today for the Howie Trial play?
Yeah, Friday is a tough slate in terms of sports betting. So we're going to go to the NBA. We got 2 games, 4 options here. You go Clippers plus 6.5, Nuggets minus 6.5. You're going to go Suns minus 8, Jazz plus 8. Polls in the chat. Vote now. Update as well as you do.
Boom and boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know what time it is. We got a lot of topics to get to. We got to talk about last night. We got to look forward to the NFL. Also, coming up in about 15 minutes or so, a player refusing to go into the game. We'll talk about that coming up in about 15 minutes. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the picks. Oh, and look at this. We got the crew everywhere. Seabass is in the chat. Charles is in the chat. He'll be here at the bottom of the hour. But we just saw this man with 2-0 on the morning show yesterday. He is live from Memphis, Tennessee. DG, good morning.
Morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Shout out to Charles. I've been talking to him on the side. Me and Charles are buds, and I get a few soccer picks here and there. I pick him off of his ROI capper on the X. The dude is on fire. Follow him to the abyss. He's amazing.
He really is. I feel like I bother him too much privately. Hey, Chuck, you got anything on those late games today? I got you, Coach. I'm waiting for lineups. Yeah, I love it. I'm waiting for lineups. All right, next, I just got a text from a random number here, and he said, will you remind Soupy that I slapped him on Tuesday? Oh, Little Lettuce wants to say good morning to the best beard in the game. Good morning, Soupy.
Good morning, everybody. We'll let him have this one win. Mind you, it has been one win since we've started this head-to-head matchup. Let's see how he talks after next week. Maybe I'll actually put some work into it for next week.
That's good. Project that you're not giving out the best plays to the audience. It's a novel concept here on a betting show. Novel concept. All right, gentlemen, last night, by the way, Soupy, did you win your 20-plus bet the player gets within 85 yards?
Juwan Jennings did not get within 20 yards of Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua had a big 51-yard catch. It was close for a while, but that big catch that Nacua had, he ran away with it.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. All right, but last night, the Rams win. The 49ers do not. And AB, I know it was the weather in the first half, but the second half, it did not rain at all. Are the 49ers finally done? And we're going to get into another topic in about 8 minutes or so, but are they finally done now? Because there's several games back in their division.
Yeah, they're done. Absolutely, man. They're last of the division. All right, they're looking up at everybody, and they have gone winless at home in the NFC West. Winless. Every single team in that division beat them in Santa Clara. So, yeah, it's toast.
Felt like an idiot last night. I really felt like DG, the over was the play. And Raphael told us live on the show last night, he goes, hey, I think the under's the play. A lot of money coming in on it. It wasn't even close. What a bad read by me. But the 49ers offense, which had looked good for 1 week, it looked atrocious. Brock Purdy couldn't find anybody. And then Debo is dropping surefire what would have been probably a touchdown, but certainly first and goal.
That team's got issues, whether it's on the field, off the field. I know we'll get into that for sure, but my God, they just look like they are out of sync, and I don't get it. I don't know what it really is. Is it Purdy just can't throw the ball, a wet ball really when it's raining, or can the guys just not catch the ball and run? There's something going on, whether it's on the field or behind closed doors, that's really messing up this 49ers team.
Yeah, Soupy, it's at a fever pitch now because when you can't complete passes, last night only Puka Nacua. I mean, Cooper Kupp, if you had him on your fantasy team and it's a playoff week for you, he did nothing. He was non-existent. It was all Puka or all nothing. It was an awful fantasy night.
It was an awful fantasy night. Unless you had Puka or Kyrie Williams, he had 100 yards last night. The rain probably had a lot to do with it. A lot of easy catches getting missed. Debo, I couldn't believe some of those easy catches that were in his hand, and he's running to the sidelines in the back like, oh, I should have. No, you haven't played well all year. And when things are going bad in the locker room, you should not bring it onto the field. And that's the problem with the 49ers is everything that's internally going on with that team. They are bringing it onto the field. This is a team that has gone to the Super Bowl over the last few years. You know how to win games, but you're not doing it just because of internal struggles. That's not how a winning team should be.
Tell us how you really feel, Soupy. Damn. Let's go. Fired up on a Friday morning. All right, it's time for our picks. Do not forget, Charles will have his 5-pack at the bottom of the hour. He and Seabass are in the chat. All right, AB, big boy, I want to start with you. Producer man, let me see that screen. Where are we going? You're damn right. I got 2 plays tonight in the association. AB, start us off.
Coach, we're going downtown tonight. Everybody get the truck. We're heading downtown. All right, we are firing some threes. First, we're going to take Nikola Jokic over 2.5 threes at plus 215. Now, if you want to take over 1.5, you can go to DraftKings. It's minus 135. BetMGM, it's minus 160. But I'm going to bump it up there, DraftKings, and I'm going to take it over 2.5 at plus 215. I think the big fella is shooting it big tonight. And then we're going to go Kevin Durant. We're going to take him over 2.5 threes as well. This one, obviously not plus money, but Durant, the Suns, they should handle their business. KD should be firing all night long.
You're damn right. I love the start of that. I've been the last couple of nights. I've been monitoring the basketball game because I'm thinking about dipping my toe into it. There's been some bad beats if I'd have played some games. Some bad beats. All right, Ninja, I see you. There's a reason why Tebow don't get the ball because he's terrible now. You can say that. Sometimes you fall off the cliff. All right, DG, coming over to you. 2 big plays. Let's go.
Yeah, these are for Sunday. I'm going to go Devontae Adams over 64.5 yards. It's at minus 115. He's hit this in 4 of the last 5 games, but the big key here is it's all about the targets. He's averaging 10.8 targets in the last 5 games. Going against the Jacksonville team that stinks, give me the over 64.5 yards at minus 115. Then we're going to go to David Montgomery. He's over 15.5 receiving yards at minus 115. And he's had 20 plus in 6 games in a row. But realistically, he's covered this in all but 3 games going against a Buffalo team that is terrible against running backs out of the backfield catching. So all I need is 16 plus yards for my guy, David Montgomery.
You guys know when Raphael's on, he tells you all about the line movement. That's why we give out NFL plays on Fridays, because these lines move depending on who's betting at what book. And they can move by 7-8 yards sometimes, huh, DG? There's a lot of movement in 2 days. Absolutely. Love those 2 plays. Love the Lions. Fantastic team. Now, our guy Z-Man, he's going to be on campus, as they say, this weekend with his ESPN radio tour, his radio show. And how excited are we for him? But, Soupy, that's the one game that you're focused on this weekend. You're up.
I look forward to Army-Navy every year because I am a sicko for Armed Forces triple option unders. But we're not getting that this season because both teams are averaging 32 points, and between them, 19 wins is the most in the 124 matchups between these two teams. I think we're going to see a lot of scoring in this game, especially from Bryson Daly. He's 9th in rushing yards this season, tied with Ashton Genty with 29 rushing touchdowns, took his team to 11-1, won a conference championship. Why is Genty a Heisman Trophy finalist and Daly isn't? That's my big gripe for today.
Who are you and who took over Soupy's body? What in the world? I can't even make fun of you this morning. This is no fun. No fun.
I'm annoyed from last night.
Oh,
getting that anger out.
Yeah. Well, our resident benefactor came in. I think he said everything and sums it up very, very well in the chat. Roberto Bibbo says, good morning, DTL. What a beef show last night's game was. That's all you need to say. AB, real quick, what do you make of Soupy's performance so far this morning?
I think he's doing good. All right, my man came firing right out of the gate. I like it. Got a little swag to him this morning. It's nice.
He does. I love when AB's like this. Soupy, I love when you're like this. And DG right now really doesn't know where to go.
Well, Coach, I was going to say, there have been Fridays where we've had to cattle prod people to wake them up. So the fact everybody's just good to go, I'm with that.
I'm not falling asleep, I promise.
Oh, my God. You guys are the best. All right, chat, keep it popping. You guys know Charles is in there. He'll have his 5-pack coming up, in about 18 minutes from right now. But we're just getting started on this Football Friday. Coming up next, a player for the 49ers who they needed refused to go into the game. What does my crew think about that? Also, your fantasy sits, your fantasy plays. What about looking ahead to the NFL weekend? And also, what to make of LeBron James and his son, Bronny. All that coming up and educate and entertain. We're just getting started. It's your daily sports and sports betting brand of record. It is DTL. It is everywhere, and it is a vibe. All right, you degenerates out there that continue to watch on our YouTube page, we love all of you. Soupy, it's a weird thing in the chat right now, but almost everybody agrees with your Army-Navy over. Does it feel weird to you to have the support of everybody in the chat?
Yeah, especially when it's a take I just don't like. Not because I don't like the pick, but I don't like Army-Navy overs. I love the tight defensive low scoring matchups between this team. It's a tradition.
Ain't gonna happen. AB, go.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned when we're talking about a lack of defense from the Army and the Navy. That's a larger problem than football.
You have some great ones so far this morning. DG, have you always been into Army, Navy? Is it something that you like?
No, I absolutely hate it. And this is not a game because it's usually boring. Like, who wants to watch this game? I know there's the fanfare and it all sounds good and it's our country. Yeah, cool. But the game sucks. This year, I don't think it's going to suck. So I'm excited to actually watch this year's Army Navy.
Doesn't it seem like a lifetime ago that we were talking about these two teams as a possible entrant into the college football playoff with the start that they had? Oh, maybe Army, Navy. Oh, if they can get highest ranked. It always has a way of shaking itself out. Always has a way of taking care of their own business. But AB, are you surprised at how good Army and Navy has gotten this year?
A little. I mean, but like we've seen Navy really good over the past, 15 years or so.
Sure.
I just like that both of them are good. You know what I mean? And like all the pageantry and everything is great. I love that we have a football game to go along with it too. I'm excited, man. I'm fired up.
I really am too. I like the fact that we're starting with this Saturday really as the launch into the next 5 or 6 weeks. And it's not just about Peach Bowl and bad bowls and that. Starting next weekend, we got 4 playoff games, guys. We got 4 playoff games starting next weekend. So that starts this week with Army and with Navy. All right, still to come in our next segment. We look forward to the big weekend in the NFL. What lines have moved? What games are we looking forward to? And also, the worst thing you can do is quit on your team. That happened last night. My guys weigh in. It is a beautiful Friday morning wherever and however you might be watching. We're back in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We continue on DTL on this Football Friday with the best damn crew in the game. I got the best chat in the game. Remember, my man Charles is in the chat. Any questions for him? Put him in the chat. He'll answer them for you in real time. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we'll have Charles 5-packs for 5 of the biggest leagues around the world on the pitch. But guys, last night, not only did the 49ers lose and basically their season is now over, but AB, Devondre Campbell, who had started 12 of the 13 games for the 49ers when they had Greenlaw, who came back for the first time. They had D. Winters for the first time. You had a lot of guys that got hurt, and they called on Campbell. He refuses to go back in the game. Then at the end of the third quarter, he walks to the locker room with a towel over his head. A lot of players had something to say after the game. Here is one of their leaders, George Kittle, on that situation of Campbell refusing to go back into the game or play it all last night. Roll tape.
Does that create dissension or disbelief or just disconnection on the sideline?
Not disbelief or disconnection like as a team. That is one person who just decided not to, play for his teammates. And I don't think that doesn't make our offense look at each other and be like, wow, man, we're falling apart. It's more of a, or like the defense, hey, we're falling apart. It's more of a one person making a, like Mooney said, a selfish decision. And I'm with Mooney on that. And I've never been around anybody that's ever done that. And I hope I'm never around anybody that does that again.
Translation, I want his ass out of here. AB, your take.
No, Kittle, I love you to death, but we said this a month and a half ago on this show. When you let Deebo Samuel take a swing at a player on the field and the head coach brushed it off and said, that's how we handle this, you have no accountability. And we said it and said it and said it. And people didn't believe us. I told you that there was a problem in this locker room, and it showed up again tonight. You noticed after Deebo took a swing at the kicker, loss. Deebo runs his mouth all week. What happens? Awful performance. No one shows up at all. You have a problem in your locker room, and it's one of your star players getting to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. And you know what that happens after that? When you allow that, other players start to do whatever they want. They've had a problem in this locker room. They didn't address it, and this is what you get when you don't address those problems. Deebo, keep running your mouth. It's clearly working. Absolutely clearly working. And guess what? After you drop that pass, that kicker saved your sorry ass once again. So why don't you go send him a Christmas card instead of taking a swing at him?
If you're wondering what shorts and reels you will see on social media today, that is one of them. I was just making it easier for the edit right there. That is an unbelievable take. And DG, I hate the Q word. I hate the word quitter. They have a player on their team that tragically lost a 1-year-old child who was managing to play last night to play for the team. He said, I cannot believe that this would happen. So many different people have different reasons for getting out there and getting the job done. And to just not say anything, and then when everybody else got hurt, they needed him. And that's what he told him he didn't want to play. DG, what do you make of this?
This is your job. You show up. But honestly, like a job is a little bit different than a team. It means more on a team because what you're doing is you're quitting on your family in a sense because you're quitting on your guy next to you. And honestly, at this point, you're losing a paycheck because you're about to get quit. Because I just checked the San Francisco Chronicles, and no, I don't see it just yet. No, I don't see it. But if you look in the drafts, oh, it's there. It's already typed up, ready to be sent. He's gonna be quit from the team today, just like he quit on the team last night.
This is the equivalent of taking your ball and go home. You guys heard me say he started 12 games this year. Last night they had some type of scheme that they were using that he was not starting. And then Greenlaw comes back. Remember he got hurt in the Super Bowl and nobody hit him. He was just running onto the field with his Achilles. He just got back last night. So this is Campbell being a baby, saying you're taking me out of the starting lineup. This dude's an all-pro that is coming back, and you still would have been used. Soupy, I hate stories like this, especially from a guy. I love being a team player, and I love being a team player on this damn team. And can you imagine just not showing up, just not saying, hey, no, don't want to, no, not seeing the long game? I hate this. Your take, Soupy.
Do you know how many times that when I see that DG is going to be on the show, I just want to be like, I don't want to be here. But here's the thing. Of the 32 teams in the NFL, all 32 of them have problems. And you know what? You don't hear about them from the Chiefs. You don't hear about from the Lions. They know how to handle this stuff internally. And that's why they're winning. You're seeing this all handled on social media. Now you're seeing with the Eagles too, with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. Let's see how that one plays out. Because you're seeing how it's playing out in San Francisco. They went to the Super Bowl last year, and now guess what? They have tee times planned in the middle of January. You need to handle this stuff eternally. Kyle Shanahan should know that, but after what happened with Debo, and he didn't do that, the wheels just fell off, and that's why this team is done.
Shout out to Zach. He said, did he really think he was going to keep the starting job once Greenlaw came back? He should have been mentally prepared for that. He should have known. Plus, they told him, AB, go.
I'll say this. Look across the sideline last night. Sean McVay, I've only seen one player ever speak up. That was Robert Woods. And in 6 days, that guy in the middle of the season was on punt return safe for the Texans. All right? Sean McVay don't play that crap. You know why? Because he's got a ring. And that's what real leadership does. You didn't see Aaron Donald mouthing off. He did his job. Sometimes you're the star. Sometimes you elevate somebody else to be the star. That's why the Rams win. And that's why the 49ers always are looking up at somebody else.
Take number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Rant Friday. I freaking love topics like this, but I hate when a player does this. All right, quickly, let's evolve and morph into some of the big games today. Producer, man, let me see that screen today because this is a big one. When I look at the Rams last night, they just beat the Bills, DG, last week and scored 44 points. Last night, they only needed 12 to get the job done. But now the Bills have to go on the road again to Detroit, laying 2.5. I love this spot because of the travel for one reason.
This is going to be a great game. And if you look at the number just overall, the 54.5 is a huge total. That scares me a little bit, but I still want to take the over because I want to have a great game. But this is going to be two teams that playoff style, but also if you're looking at these two teams that really could be Super Bowl contenders. And so I really think this would be the game of the year so far because these two teams are going to be amazing this week.
They really are. And Soupy, we got to remember the number 1 seed. That's why the loss last week for the Bills was so devastating because of that game and then this game. And then they closed with 2 against the Pats, 1 against the Jets. But that number 1 seed and trying not to have to go to Arrowhead took a big step backwards with that loss. This is almost a must-win for the Bills. They've already locked up the division.
They need to win from throughout to even have a chance to get that number one seed. I don't think I see it with the Chiefs, even though they do have to play 3 games in the next 11 days. These two teams, they can pass, they can run, they can defend. I wouldn't take any of the straight. I wouldn't take the -2.5 or the +2.5. I wouldn't take this over. I would be teasing. I'll tease it. I'll tease the total down, and I would even tease the Bills a little higher. I just don't. I feel like this could be a close game, and so many factors. It could go either way.
AB, your thoughts on that?
Look, you want to know a little secret?
Yes.
Okay? All right. Bills, Lions. All right. We played in the dome. All right. The Lions saw last week what the Rams did to the Bills, scored points all over the field. You know what? Their quarterback, Jared Goff, used to play for the Rams, understands exactly what Sean McVay did to the Bills. Trust me, if you want to scout this game, just go look at what the Rams did, and you will see very similar approaches because Ben Johnson, that OC, he ain't a dummy. He knows what works, and he's willing to do it. Watch that.
This could be the year that Ben Johnson gets a head coaching job. He's been in the mix several. This guy's a well-respected coordinator for sure. DG, let's move over now to the Steelers and the Eagles. The Steelers are in the same spot. They're 1 game back of the Chiefs, and they still have the Chiefs to play on Christmas Day. So they're right in front of them. If the Steelers went out, they will be the number 1 seed. That's how big this game is against the Eagles.
Talk about coaching. Mike Tomlin is a master at this. And these kind of games are when Mike Tomlin kind of rears his head. And I think you're going to have a coach really out-coach the other guy. And so at this game, I love the Steelers because this is a great spot for them to go into Philly and steal a win on the back of their defense, but also Russell Wilson, who's I'll eat my hat. I didn't think he would be this good, but my God, Russell Wilson has played within himself and honestly just got to the right guys when he's needed to, and that's how they've been winning. I expect them to go in and have a big upset win in Philly this weekend.
It does feel like they can get this job done on the field. And Soupy, not only do the Eagles have discord, but last week they damn near lost to the Panthers. Panthers had the ball as the game ended, going in to score to win the game. They're a mess right now, even though they've won a ton of games in a row. I feel a teaser spot here. If I take the Steelers up to 11.5, I like that for one side of it.
I like that too, but I actually like the Steelers to win. The Steelers are not going to be able to win traditionally how they've been winning the last few games. They are not going to have George Pickens. I don't know how well Russell Wilson will be in the passing game. I think this is going to be a dogfight. I think we're going to see a lot of running. They're going to have to depend on Najee Harris and Jalen Warren because the Eagles are going to have Saquon Barkley on the other side. So this is going to be a big game for the Steelers defensive front to try to stop this potent run game. If they do that, then I give Steelers the chance. I'll take that +5.5.
Yeah, it feels like this is a really pivotal weekend, AB, when you're talking about certain teams. But in the NFC, it's about the Lions and it's about the Eagles. It's about that second loss. So even though we say the Steelers have big one for the 1 seed, the Eagles are in the exact same spot.
They are. And you know what? Nobody's talking about it. And I like that for the Eagles. All right. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm all over Philadelphia in this one. It's nothing against the Steelers or Mike Tomlin or anybody else. No George Pickens. All right. The Steelers have the Ravens next week, and Philly could use a rallying point. And what better? Look at these two fan bases. All right. This is the state and war of Pennsylvania. They know each other. They hate each other. This is going to feel like a college game here. And I guarantee you, A.J. Brown props, do it. They will use him as a catalyst. I think Philly blows Pittsburgh out. I absolutely do.
Wow. Bookmark this moment in the show. That's why everybody has their own opinions. That's why not everybody's going to agree. That's why hashtag it pays to watch live. Shout out to Ambrose. You got a nice little membership there. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. We will tackle Sunday Night Football, the Packers and the Seahawks, coming up on about 20 minutes from right now. But still to come, we got to talk fantasy sits and plays. And also, our 5-pack truck is up next. It's DTL Friday. It's a vibe. All right, you degenerates out there, as we continue on here on our YouTube page. Remember, hit that like button on your way in. It really helps the show grow in a lot of different ways. Last night, kind of buried behind Thursday Night Football, AB, was Travis Hunter, taking home every single award that there is. Walter Camp, AP College Player of the Year. Bednarik, top defensive player. He was the best receiver. I never understand every single year how a player will win all these awards and then won't win the Heisman. Do you think he should win the Heisman on Saturday?
Oh, that Heisman's done. He's winning the Heisman, no doubt. My question, they gave him the Defensive Player of the Year award?
Correct.
What? Look,
yes.
and that's nothing against my dude. All right, he's a stud on every front. I rock with him, and he's a great dude, too. That guy signs a ton of autographs for kids before and after Colorado games. He's great, man. He's awesome. But Defensive Player of the Year? My man. All right, I think we went a little heavy on that one.
DG, I heard you shouting from the rooftops all the way out here because your boy got Coach of the Year last night. Your thoughts?
Just Googling, baby. He was every Coach of the Year. I don't know I didn't know Home Depot had a Coach of the Year. I didn't know if Lowe's was doing Coach of the Year. Everybody had a Coach of the Year. I thought DTL would make him Coach of the Year, but I didn't see that one yet. But Googling, baby, and Signetti, just he is a one of one, and they're only going to get better for next year. That recruiting class that's coming in is going to be even better.
Amazing. Subi, what'd you make of those awards? Did you even watch them? Because I was no.
No, I was asleep. Thank you to that Rams 49ers game. That dozed me off a little bit. So
hey, well, don't worry. Travis Hunter won Offensive Lineman of the Year.
He had 11 pass defenses, 4 interceptions. That's not bad, but I don't think it deserves Defensive Player of the Year. I don't.
I had to
100%.
literally Google how to spell some of these names. Bednarik, Bolitnikov. I can spell camp. I could do that. Not sure all of us could, but I can do camp. All right, still to come. We have crossed the bottom of the hour. You guys want to stick around because we got our 5-pack coming up. We also have our fantasy sits and plays, and also LeBron James. What the hell is going on? We're back in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We have crossed the bottom of the hour. Do not forget, 3 p.m. Eastern every single weekday. You can catch us also on all the stadium apps. Amazon Prime, DirecTV, YouTube TV, Roku TV, all of them. I'm your boy, the coach, and I navigate this ship on most days. Now, this is Football Friday. We do things a little bit differently. But before I bring in Big Chuck, no, actually, we'll do Big Chuck first. This is where you get 5 packs of questions, where all 5 of the biggest around the world, you get 1 pick over the weekend. So, Charles, you have been busy in the chat. My God, do they love you in the chat. It's amazing. We have crew members everywhere, but now it's your time to shine because you have been the hottest capper on DTL, and it's not close. Where are we heading today, sir?
Saturday action, Serie Cagliari, Atalanta, the over 2.75 full-time goals. I also like both teams to score an over 2.5, with Cagliari home matches averaging 2.8 total goals, and Atalanta away matches, they average 3 total goals. Bundesliga action, Mainz versus Bayern Munich. I like Mainz as a dog in this spot in the first half. Team total over half a goal. They've actually scored a first half goal versus Bayern in 9 of their last 10 meetings. Moving on to Sunday action, La Liga, Villarreal versus Betis. I'm going to go with the over 2.75 full-time goals here. Also like both teams to score an over 2.5. I can see a 2-1, 2-2 type of match. Villarreal home matches averaging 4.3 total goals. EPL action, Chelsea welcomes Brentford to town. This is a little London derby. Both teams to score an over 2.5 as Chelsea average 1.17 goals at home, and they also concede 1.1 goals at home. Lastly, PSG, Lyon in League One. I'm going to go with the over 1.5 first half goals, with 4 of 7 PSG matches producing 2 or more first half goals this season.
That Chelsea game's like a blinking red light. I watched them last week. They were down 2-0 to Tottenham and then score 4 goals like it was their job. That was incredible. They're on fire.
And your boy Cole Palmer chipped in.
Yeah, he's fantastic. All right, we're going to do our fantasy sits and plays coming up in about 12 minutes right before we tackle Sunday Night Football and do the look ahead to our next prime time show. But there's a lot of things going on off the field that are very, very interesting. It's time to educate and entertain. All right, this story has a lot of layers to it, and I don't even know where to start. But AB, it's incredibly weird to me. So LeBron James misses a game because of a foot injury, and then he misses practice. And then his coach confirms he's taking time away for personal reasons. It's all over social media. But none of the sports sites have a story on it. It's the weirdest thing. You got the potentially, statistically, the greatest player of all time walking away from his team when they need him the most. Do you find it weird it's not being covered by the media more than it is?
I find it weird, yeah, that like we don't know what it is. Now, I believe a foot injury. Like when you go to the playoffs and go all the way, make a run, right? Like that's basically another season. And he's done that for so many years. Like I don't take anything away from that. I don't know what's happening in regards to it, but seeing Bronny, all right, in the G League, smiling and playing good basketball, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It felt like the first time that this kid could have room to breathe and just play and get better. So I don't know anything about LeBron, but for Bronny, and I've been on all over him, but I'll be the first one to say, dude, I loved seeing that, man. Like, I hope that they just let this kid keep going, develop, be his own person. You don't have to be LeBron James Jr., be Bronny. I like that.
He was not going to play road games, so the Lakers decided against that. So last night, his first road game, Bronny James scored a career-high 30 points. He's averaging 14 points a game, 3.5 rebounds a game, 2.5 assists a game. It was the right move to allow him to play road games with this team. He's got to be able to fit in, make friends on his own without his dad hanging around. But also, you kind of want to know the reason, and personal reasons are personal reasons. And he's allowed to do – but the weird thing is, DG, in his entire career, this has never happened. In his entire career, he's never just walked away and he quit social media about a month ago and now taking time away. When you have an injury, most of the time you go to the facility and rehab the injury around the team. So I think that's where I land, where AB said we don't know what it is. That's the weird part to me, is we normally stuff leaks out, but we don't know what this is.
Yeah, so let me get this straight. Okay, so if it was a family deal close home, your son wouldn't be going to play his first away game all of a sudden. So now your son's going to play this away game. You let off for personal reasons because of maybe a foot injury or whatever this issue is. Like maybe there's something else going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. And if so, you know what? You got to handle that. But this is the worst PR move ever. Like there's got to be a different way of handling this. And this is not the right way. So whatever is going on in his life, whether it's because he sucks right now and he's in a bad spot, yeah, that might be it. But still, no way that this is the right way to handle this. And so because of that, I'm looking at LeBron, because what kind of leader is he now on this team? Because if he's allowing these outside things happen to get in the way of his team and his play, that's on him.
You know, from a basketball perspective, this does not scream of leadership whatsoever. He's always wanted things his way, and we've always given it to him. You guys know me. LeBron's my third favorite athlete of all time, behind Michael Jordan and behind Tiger Woods, because of what he's done on the court. But Soupy, when you just talk about basketball, a lot of rumors are flying around last night, because last year he turned down any trade rumors. Nope, not going anywhere, not going to happen. Now that his team is literally falling off a cliff, all the rumors come back up again. Golden State, perhaps. Would he go there? And now there's been no talk from his camp about shutting down trade rumors. Could you see LeBron potentially leaving Dodge again, which I can't even imagine the reaction if he left his team in the middle of the season just because they're not playing very good basketball?
Imagine when last season LeBron wanted help. Nobody wanted to help him. So he takes all this money. He's telling the Lakers, you have to draft my son, draft my son. They do. They did everything that LeBron asked of them. And then he just says, no, you guys are terrible. I want to leave. It sounds like a very LeBron move, but I don't know if he would leave his son. I think these are all rumors. Who knows what the personal reasons are? I think we should know, because it is LeBron James, and you're all of a sudden going quiet after you're one of the biggest stars on the planet in sports. It's all just a strange situation, and it just starts with the Lakers just being bad right now too. It just doesn't help.
They're terrible, and we talked about it big time. AB, go.
I'll tell you this. Watch the next couple games. Watch the energy that the Lakers players have without LeBron James. All right. If it's positive and fun and exciting, that'll tell you everything you need to know right there.
You're absolutely right. It really is. We discussed a couple of different things in the offseason, that they didn't get a big-time recruit. They didn't get a big-time player that want to come to play with LeBron. We said that screams volumes. And when he took $52 million, that screamed volumes. And right now, it's an absolute disaster. It really is. Speaking of a disaster, AB, another story, and I can only imagine how you would react to this guy. And the Lions reacted in the only way that they could. Do we all see the video of the fan who got in the face of Matt LaFleur at the game last week and wondered how the fan got so close to Matt LaFleur? Well, now the story's out. The guy was holding the flag for the national anthem, and when they were done, then he got in the face of Matt LaFleur. Well, today, the Lions have revoked his season tickets, and I can only hope that they kept all the money from the rest of the games that he's not going to get to go to. AB, what do you make of this guy masking as a national anthem flag holder just to get close to the Green Bay Packers and talk trash?
I've done this job. All right. I have done this job with the flags. I will put it out on Twitter right after it. I have done exactly this. And I can tell you, if I put the flag down and then ran over to the other coach, all right, that flag would have been jammed in my neck immediately by team security. All right. I guarantee you what you want to look for, all right, are team securities on both sides because they're freaking out. They don't like when things like this happen at all. And yeah, they yanked his season tickets quick. No more flags from a man. He's done. He's retired.
So, can you imagine telling that story at home? So, Uncle Joe, why did you lose your season tickets at the best time in the history of the Detroit Lions? Well, little Johnny, it's a funny story. I mean, DG, what are we doing? What are we doing?
This is the story as old as time. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Like, what is this guy thinking? Like, you don't do this. This is dumb. Just wear an idiot on the top of your head for the rest of your life.
No, why would you say that when I'm leading to Soupy? Soupy, what are your thoughts on this guy? Clearly, I mean, he's going to be on the no-fly zone for the Lions for the rest of time. He'll never be allowed back in the stadium. Do you think it was worth it to him this morning?
Definitely not. If you're a big fan of the team, you have season tickets, you put all this money into it. Why are you just going to risk it all for 5 minutes? But I guarantee if he was a fan of the 49ers, they probably would have made him fan of the week.
AB, go.
All right. So anybody, when you ever watch anyone with flags, college football, NFL, whatever, okay, watch their arms because the key, you have to lock your elbows, all right? You've got to lock it straight because if you don't, all right, if you've got kind of the chicken wing going on, you're going down. Those flags are way heavier than you think that they are, and the wind is real. So when you see those guys, all right, standing up proud, arms locked straight. If they're not, watch it. That person's going down, and you're about to have a highlight on social media, I assure you.
I literally have an image in my head as this brand grows and we try different stupid things. Can you guys imagine a show with AB's done a million different things? I'm always shocked and amazed. Yeah, I did that. That doesn't surprise me. Can you imagine a show with AB just trying stupid stuff?
Yes, that would be amazing.
Yes,
that would be amazing, wouldn't it? That would be amazing. It would be.
It would be fun.
You literally name it AB does stupid stuff.
What a great try at a name. We're not going to call it that, but not a bad start. AB does. All right, maybe that could grow on me. AB does stupid stuff. Let's get Amazon on line one. I feel the show coming right now. All right, great show today, and the live number is just amazing for a Friday. Thank you guys very much. Do not forget, hit the like button on the way in. Remember, our next primetime live will be Sunday night at 7 Eastern time. We'll talk about Sunday Night Football and see if we can beat the number just a little bit coming up. Also, it's playoffs for a lot of you in your fantasy leagues. Who should we play? Who should we sit? We'll discuss that coming up next with our man, Soupy. It is a gorgeous Friday. And do not forget, Charles is in the chat. Any questions for him on games today? There are a few in the big leagues or the weekend. Put them in there. He'll answer them for you in real time. It is DTL having a great time on Friday. And it's a vibe. All right, you degenerates, continue to watch on our YouTube page. We love you so very much. Some other news coming out of the NFL, and it's always careers always end with a whimper. And this guy is responsible for arguably the greatest catch of all time. OBJ leaving mutually agreed, AB, leaving the Dolphins, and I gotta believe that this will be it for the wide receiver.
Yeah, probably so. And I hate to see it. I mean, he's had injuries, and it's just been. Welcome to the NFL. Like, I mean, he's played a long time. It is not easy to stay up. And we talked about it. That Dolphins offense, like, that's a physical offense, man. Like, you block way more than you catch. So it makes sense, man. Hell of a career. And like you said, arguably one of the greatest catches of all time, man. OBJ.
It's one of those situations, DG, where it happens a lot where a player just kind of disappears. You go, oh, was he still playing? I feel like the last couple of years for OBJ has been that.
Yeah, I honestly forgot he was going to be going to Miami until I watched Love Island this past summer, and his brother was on the show, and he was with Miss Tiffany, and they got together, and that's when they were able to meet OBJ and his family. And so at this point, that's really where I was picking up back on OBJ's career. So I'm curious how his brother's life's going.
Soupy, are you cleaning your camera, or are you just over here dumbfounded that Love Island found its way into the show?
I'm trying to find a way to disappear from this show right now.
Why would you say that and just hand it to DG on a silver platter?
Because I don't want to hear. I'd rather be gone than listen to more about Love Island.
We can't all be that.
I'm telling you,
Soupy.
One of these days we're starting a reality show. It's going to happen. We've got a Real Housewife husband. We have a Love Island. You guys know me. I'm Big Brother challenge all day. Who wouldn't want to hear that? Please answer me. Who wouldn't want to hear that? Of course, nobody would want to hear that. We'll see. Charles says Love Island in the house. Charles is so funny. Is there a cashing with Chuck shirt, says Roberto Bibbo. Not yet, Robert, but very, very soon if he keeps winning like this. All right, we are cruising through a Football Friday and a few other topics as well. We are back in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is DTL on a Friday. Remember, you can watch us on all the stadium apps at 3 p.m. Eastern Time or right here on demand. Turn on your notifications after you subscribe to the channel. Also, if you're watching live, you are eligible. Make sure you put in your profile eligible to receive memberships, because you never know when somebody's going to give out a free month, and you have to be watching live to receive it, like Ambrose did today. All right, it is playoffs for a lot of you in your fantasy leagues. And we got a man that's all over it every single Friday. Soupy, it's me and you right now, big boy. Who are we playing? Who are we sitting this week?
Kyler Murray's been hit or miss this year, but I like him in this matchup against the Pats. They've allowed a top 10 quarterback in 5 games this year, and they're allowing the 5th most passing touchdowns. And David Njoku, the difference between him playing with Deshaun Watson and any other quarterback is amazing. He's averaging 15 points with Jameis Winston as the quarterback, and the Chiefs are allowing the 2nd most points to the tight end. And now I'm going to sit Russell Wilson. I think this is going to be a running game between them and the Eagles. The Eagles are allowing the 6th fewest points to the quarterback, and he has no George Pickens. So I'm going to fade Russell Wilson, and I'm also fading Tank Dell, because when Nico Collins in, he doesn't get the ball that much. He's only averaging 7.6 points with Collins in the lineup. And the Miami, they're allowing the 4th fewest points to the wide receiver position.
All right, what do we make of this, AB? Anybody like here or dislike on this list?
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Like, I dig Kyler Murray one more week. I dig him for one more week, and then he scares the hell out of me. Absolutely scares me. And Russell Wilson, again, I love everything the Steelers are doing. This could be a bad week for the Steelers, man. This could be a tough one.
AB's all in on the Eagles, if you didn't know already. So he likes that Russell Wilson sitting. DG, your reaction to Soupy's picks?
Yeah, the sits I can get on board with, but the only issue at the start is David Njoku. He has a hamstring injury. And so at this point in the season, are they going to bring him back? He's missed every practice this week so far. So at this point, if he isn't available, then obviously you can't play him. But if he is available, there's a hamstring question mark. I actually have him on my team, and I'm sitting him this week because I don't trust a hamstring, especially in the playoffs.
Okay, very good. We like some of them. We don't. We'll see what happens. It's playoffs for a lot of you. This is a resident benefactor taking care of business. He just did 5 memberships yet again. He goes, I got to step away and fix a VADR issue if I don't get back before the end of the show. Have a good Friday the 13th, everybody. Why did you have to remind us it was Friday the 13th? Oh, my God, I'd completely forgotten. Now what do we do? What do we do? Well, we quickly look forward to Sunday Night Football. It's a big one, AB. It is the Packers, who are coming off a very difficult loss against the Lions. And I know there are stats out there about teams after they play the physical Lions. They don't play very good football. Should we factor that in Sunday night against the Seahawks?
Yeah, I mean, we should. But, again, like with the spread, and I think it's on the NFL graphic that we had right there at the bottom. I think it's 2.5. And you look at the Seahawks, man, like they've been on the road, right? And now they finally get to play at home. Now it's going to be a big game, obviously, but Seattle's playing great football right now, man. Like I'll take them plus 2.5. I still think Green Bay wins, but I'll roll with the Seahawks plus 2.5. This team's believing, man.
That's exactly right. DG, your thoughts real quick.
I love Green Bay in this spot. The only thing we got to watch is for a little bit of weather. As we know in Seattle, it likes to get a little drizzly out there. So at that point, it could be a wet ball in some parts of the game. So it's all about the running backs. I like the running backs for Green Bay a lot better.
All right, very good. Now, quickly, we always embrace PrizePicks here. We do believe they will be a big part of what we're doing in 2025. And I know, Soupy, you always like to take care of the good people on a Friday. PrizePicks, where are you going today?
I'm starting with AB's boy, Tony Pollard. He has been great. He went to, last week, 102 yards against the Jaguars. Now he's facing the Bengals, who are 31st in rush success. Rico Dowdle just went off with 131 rushing yards against them. And the week before, Najee Harris had 75. Now I'm going to Geno Smith in that Sunday Night Football game against the Packers. So the Seahawks are starting to run the ball. 55.8% pass play compared to 62.5% throughout the season. I think that's where they're going to lead with whether Zach Charbonnet or if Kenneth Walker comes back in. I'm leaning towards the run. Let's go less than with Geno. And Nick Chubb, it's just not his year coming off that injury. He's only averaging 3.1 yards per carry. And last week, the snaps are starting to measure 36%. 2 weeks ago, 34% last week. Jerome Ford is taking over that backfield. So give me the less than 43.5 rushing yards for Nick Chubb.
I would have taken the less than on the time on that freaking take. All right, it is time for the whip around. Leaves producer man hanging out to dry. Sorry about that. All right, 10 seconds or less. One nugget, maybe two if you're Soupy. AB, start us off.
Producer man does not have an easy job. This is a tough show to produce for sure. All right, look, we're going downtown here. Nikola Jokic over 2.5 threes plus 215. And we're going Kevin Durant over 2.5 threes at minus 105.
DG.
Devontae Adams is a target monster, averaging 10.8 in the last 5 games. We're going to go over 64.5 yards at minus 115. And then David Montgomery is a machine out of the backfield. He's catching a lot. So we're going to go over the 15.5 receiving yards at minus 115.
Soupy.
Happy 2024. We're going to see an Army-Navy game that hits the over. Both teams are averaging 32 points, which is top 40 in the country. Go with the over 39.
After that PrizePicks take, Joe says, I wonder what Peyton is doing right now.
Sleeping.
You too. Super salad, man. Soup or salad. All right. Howie Schwab, every single day we remember him because we play one thing together. AB, what are we playing together today?
We are efforting to pull it up right now. 1 second here. Yeah, hold on. All right. We've got small load times here. All right.
I'm gonna guess it's the Nuggets.
Yep. 6.5. You got it.
Boom.
Right there.
Boom.
Boy.
Well, because you picked Jokic and everybody believes in your prop, so they're going to believe in that game. That's how it works. It's how it works.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Go.
No, I was going to give you something else everybody could believe in, all right? Something good to end this show with, okay? We were talking about the flags and being on the field. Well,
yes,
I told you I used to do this job, okay? And when I'd set the flag down, there were some players that I was pretty good friends with, and we'd cut up. And Maurice Jones-Drew, remember the running back for the Jaguars?
Of course, yes.
Every time that they played in Nashville, man, he's awesome. I love him, and I tell him, you ain't scoring today. You might as well have not even shown up. All right, I did that. Titans get the opening kickoff, fumble it inside the 10. The next play, Jones-Drew punch. And I said this in front of Chad Henne, in front of the O-lineman. Like,
You're
kidding. He scored on the first play. And my dad sent me this right here off the television. The whole team mobbed me. They were giving me hell. And my dad goes, "What the hell did you say?"
Oh, my God. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
You amaze me every time. I think you're going left and you go right. I think you're going straight and you go backwards. That's an amazing picture. That's an amazing, amazing picture. Wow. Oh, wow.
MJD, awesome dude. Awesome dude. He's great.
Give me 30 seconds, DG, of what can we expect. Weekend wagers live today. Crew members, 3 p.m. Eastern, yes?
Yep, 3 p.m. Eastern, weekend wager. We have our 12-pack of plays, so kind of settle up and get ready for us. We're going to have a little bit of hockey there. We're going to try to have a little bit of fun. We'll give you our weekend vibes, what's kind of tickling our fancy, as I like to say, or what might be bad. So just make sure you join in 3 o'clock Eastern today, weekend wagers.
And I screwed up, and I screwed Charles real quick. Producer man, can I get the 5-pack, just the screen, so people that weren't here can see his picks? I don't have time to bring him on screen. I just need to get to those picks so people can see it. Take a screenshot. Charles, I apologize. There are the 5-pack. All the games are on Saturday and or on Sunday. Gentlemen, great freaking job today. Great live number. Let's all have a great week and understand it's now time for you to go out into the world, for you to pay it forward. Be kind to one another, just like you do every single day in the chat. Let's carry that vibe out into the world and understand there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew, damn it, do I love them all. My man, Big Chuck in the chat. DG, Soupy, producer man, my partner, AB. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single day right here on DTO. Good luck. Have a great weekend.